Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. In 2025, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in our personal and professional lives. The landscape of relationships, whether with ourselves or others, is shifting rapidly, and it's time we address a crucial theme: the need to stop being too nice. In our journey through life, we often encounter various challenges that force us to confront the delicate balance between kindness and self-preservation. One of the most vital elements of maintaining this balance is understanding the power of boundaries. Boundaries are essential for fostering healthy relationships, not only with others, but importantly, with ourselves. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, the significance of establishing and maintaining these boundaries has never been more critical. At its core, a boundary is a personal limit that defines how we engage with others and how they engage with us. These limits can encompass emotional, physical, or even psychological spaces. They are essential tools for safeguarding our mental and emotional well-being. If you think of your life as a house, boundaries are the walls that define your space. They keep out what is harmful while allowing the joys of connection, love, and respect to enter. When we fail to establish clear boundaries, we risk opening ourselves up to emotional exhaustion, overcommitment, and resentment, leading to a decline in our overall happiness and fulfillment. One of the most common misconceptions about boundaries is that they are synonymous with selfishness or rigidity. In reality, they are acts of self-care and self-respect. Setting boundaries is about protecting your time, energy, and emotional capacity while still showing compassion for others. When we understand this fundamental truth, we begin to see that boundaries actually enhance our relationships. They allow us to engage with others from a place of strength rather than depletion. This in turn fosters deeper connections based on mutual respect and understanding. When we establish boundaries, we also communicate our values and priorities. Imagine a scenario where friends continually ask you to join them for activities or events that you find draining or unenjoyable. By saying no to these requests, you are effectively sharing what matters to you, showing that you value your time and energy. This honest communication not only reinforces your self-respect, but also helps others in your life to understand and respect your needs. Many people fear that expressing their boundaries will lead to conflict or disappointment, but often the opposite is true. Communication of boundaries usually leads to greater respect and appreciation from others, as they understand that you are being honest about your desires and limitations. Another critical aspect of boundaries is differentiation. Differentiating between what is your responsibility and what is someone else's can be quite liberating. Many individuals feel an inherent need to take on the problems or emotions of those around them, believing that this is an act of kindness or loyalty. However, when we absorb others' issues as our own, we dilute our ability to offer genuine support. By recognizing where someone else's feelings end and where ours begin, we enable ourselves to remain emotionally healthy and available to help as needed without compromising our own well-being. It's also essential to recognize that boundaries can be flexible. They are not rigid constructs. They can change over time as relationships evolve and circumstances shift. What may have felt acceptable in one phase of life might not resonate in another. Continuous self-reflection allows us to adapt our boundaries accordingly. As we grow and learn more about ourselves and our needs, so too should our boundaries evolve to reflect that growth. This dynamic approach reinforces the notion that boundaries are not barriers to intimacy, but rather gateways to deeper, more authentic connections. In practical terms, establishing boundaries requires practice, self-awareness, and courage. Many individuals struggle to articulate their limits for fear of offending others or rocking the boat. However, the essence of effective boundary setting lies in direct and compassionate communication. It's perfectly valid to express that you need time to recharge, or that a particular commitment no longer serves you well. Practicing these conversations in low-stakes scenarios can build your confidence for more challenging discussions later. Implementing boundaries also necessitates accountability. Once you've identified your limits and begun communicating them, it's vital to uphold them. This can be challenging, especially if others react negatively or with surprise. Remind yourself that these reactions are not a reflection of your worth, but rather an indication of their challenges with understanding and respecting your needs. Maintain your commitment to your boundaries, and over time, others will learn to respect them as well. Ultimately, embracing the power of boundaries is an empowering act. It reinforces the idea that you are worthy of respect, happiness, and fulfillment. In a world that often glorifies self-sacrifice, standing firm in your commitment to self-care can feel revolutionary. When you prioritize your well-being, you're not only improving your quality of life, but also modeling healthy behaviors for those around you. Your willingness to set boundaries will encourage others to do the same, thereby fostering a culture of mutual respect and understanding. As we forge ahead into 2025 and beyond, let us acknowledge that establishing and honoring our boundaries is not just a personal endeavor. It is a communal one, a collective commitment to authenticity, respect, and nurtured relationships. Understanding and mastering the power of boundaries allows us to navigate our lives with clarity and confidence, making space for genuine interactions that empower both ourselves and those we care about. By setting and maintaining these boundaries, we reclaim our time, energy, and joy, paving the way for a brighter, more fulfilling future for all. As we delve into the theme of kindness and its sometimes detrimental counterpart, over accommodation, it becomes crucial to understand the dangers that arise when we prioritize being nice over our own well-being. It's easy to equate kindness with self-sacrifice. But the truth is that allowing ourselves to be overly nice, be it in personal relationships, work environments, or social settings, can lead to a host of negative consequences. We must learn to navigate these intricate dynamics to foster healthier lives and relationships. Over-accommodation manifests when we prioritize the needs, desires, and emotions of others to the point of neglecting our own. This often stems from a deep-seated belief that our self-worth is intrinsically tied to our ability to please others. We might feel that saying yes to every request or expectation is the only way to be viewed as kind, compassionate, or worthy of love and respect. However, this belief is deeply flawed and ultimately harmful. Consider the scenario of a workplace where one employee consistently takes on additional assignments from colleagues, even when their own workload is already overwhelming. Initially, they may feel validated, earning praise for their willingness to help their coworkers. However, over time, this person becomes the go-to individual for extra work. They might start feeling resentful, overburdened, and burned out, which also impacts their overall job performance and relationships with colleagues. Instead of being seen as a supportive teammate, they may begin to feel like a doormat, creating a cycle of unfulfilling interactions that strains their mental health. Moreover, over-accommodation can lead to a profound sense of disconnection from one's true self. When we constantly immerse ourselves in accommodating others, we lose sight of our desires, values, and needs. Imagine someone who always attends social events they have no interest in simply to avoid letting friends down. Over time, they may struggle with identity issues, questioning what they genuinely enjoy versus what they feel obligated to do. They may even develop feelings of anxiety and loneliness, despite being surrounded by friends and acquaintances. This disconnection is not a result of having fewer friends, but rather the loss of authenticity in relationships. Another significant consequence of over-accommodation is the strain it places on our emotional and mental well-being. Constantly suppressing our true feelings creates an internal conflict that can lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. We might smile and nod during a conversation, all while harboring feelings of frustration or discomfort. This emotional suppression can eventually manifest in physical symptoms, what is often referred to as psychosomatic illness, where stress and emotional turmoil translate into bodily discomfort and health issues. When we ignore our own emotional needs, we impair not only our mental health, but our physical health as well, leading to a deteriorating state of overall wellness. Additionally, over-accommodation can foster unhealthy dependence in relationships. When we position ourselves as the perpetual giver, we risk enabling others to remain passive or avoid taking responsibility for their actions. For example, in romantic relationships, one partner perpetually accommodates the other's whims, leading to a dynamic where the accommodating partner feels overwhelmed while the other becomes less engaged and more reliant. This dynamic not only creates resentment, but can erode the foundation of mutual respect and partnership. Partnership key elements for any successful relationship. Instead of genuine connections, interactions can become transactional, rooted in obligation rather than mutual appreciation. An individual who feels they must constantly accommodate others may feel trapped in their role, unsure of how to break free. The fear of disappointing others can lead to a cycle of compliance, even at the expense of one's happiness, leading to feelings of entrapment rather than fulfillment. It becomes essential, therefore, to recognize the subtle signs of over-accommodation and to intervene proactively. One effective strategy is self-reflection. Individuals can start by identifying their limits, understanding what they truly want versus what they feel obliged to do. It's critical to differentiate between genuine desires and societal pressures or emotional manipulations that may compel us to accommodate others at our own expense. Recognizing and addressing these emotions may involve journaling or seeking feedback from trusted friends or mentors. Over time, this reflection can facilitate a better understanding of one's true needs and desires and help reframe the relationship between kindness and self-respect. Acknowledging our emotional landscape is a vital aspect of breaking the cycle of over-accommodation and rebuilding healthier relationships. Additionally, cultivating assertiveness is paramount. Learning to communicate boundaries effectively can create a profound shift in interpersonal dynamics. Practicing assertive communication involves stating desires and needs clearly while still showing respect for others' feelings. This doesn't mean being abrasive. Rather, it fosters a healthy dialogue where both parties feel heard and understood. By standing firm and expressing your limits, whether it's declining a social invitation, setting a specific work deadline, or expressing discomfort with a particular request, you create a new narrative for your relationships. Over time, friends, family, and colleagues will learn to respect your boundaries, which opens the door to more genuine interaction. Ultimately, understanding the dangers of over-accommodation empowers us to live more authentic lives. Recognizing that kindness does not require self-sacrifice can profoundly transform our relationships and enhance our emotional and mental health. By committing to healthy boundaries, we allow kindness to flourish in a way that honors both ourselves and those we care about, paving the way for more meaningful connections grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and authenticity. Breaking the cycle of over-accommodation not only liberates us, but also encourages others to cultivate their own authenticity. Together, we can create a world where kindness and respect for oneself coexist harmoniously. The concept of self-care has gained considerable attention in recent years, emerging as a crucial aspect of personal growth and well-being. In a fast-paced world that often demands more than we can give, the importance of self-care cannot be overstated. It serves not merely as a remedy for stress or burnout, but as an essential practice for maintaining our health, happiness, and effectiveness in both our personal and professional lives. However, self-care is often misunderstood as being synonymous with indulgence or selfishness, leading many to overlook its fundamental role in achieving a balanced and fulfilling life. At its essence, self-care encompasses a broad range of practices that nurture our physical, emotional, and mental health. It is a proactive approach to well-being that encourages us to prioritize our needs amid the demands of everyday life. Whether through exercise, nourishing meals, sufficient rest, or engaging in hobbies, self-care is about recognizing that our health is a top priority and taking deliberate steps to support it. This doesn't imply that we should neglect our responsibilities or relationships. Instead, it asserts that to show up fully for others, we must first care for ourselves. Among the most significant benefits of self-care is its ability to enhance our resilience. By incorporating self-care into our lives, we bolster our capacity to cope with stress, overcome challenges, and maintain our emotional well-being. Consider a scenario where someone navigates a demanding job while also managing personal responsibilities. Without self-care practices like regular exercise, mindfulness, or setting aside time for creative outlets, they risk becoming overwhelmed by stress. As they neglect their needs, their ability to handle pressure diminishes, often resulting in emotional exhaustion. However, by prioritizing self-care, they cultivate resilience, enabling them to bounce back from setbacks and maintain a more balanced perspective. In addition to fostering resilience, self-care plays a vital role in preventing and alleviating burnout. Burnout occurs when chronic stress overwhelms an individual, leading to depleted energy, reduced productivity, and a sense of disconnection from personal values and goals. Many individuals in high-stress professions, such as healthcare, education, or social work, often become susceptible to burnout. By actively engaging in self-care practices, they can create a buffer against emotional depletion. Simple pleasures, such as enjoying a leisurely walk in nature, spending time with loved ones, or participating in a favorite hobby, can serve as restorative practices that replenish energy and spark joy, reducing the likelihood of burnout. Furthermore, self-care fosters improved relationships. We may think of self-care as a solitary endeavor, but it has the powerful potential to enhance how we interact with others. When we prioritize our health, we cultivate a sense of well-being that radiates outward, allowing our relationships to flourish. For instance, a person who practices regular self-care develops a clearer sense of identity and emotional awareness. This self-awareness aids in effective communication and empathetic connections with others. When we feel grounded and whole within ourselves, we become better equipped to engage authentically with those around us. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect and understanding, and self-care empowers us to embody these qualities. Moreover, self-care can encourage self-compassion, a critical component of emotional well-being. When we prioritize our needs, we send a powerful message to ourselves. We are worthy of care and kindness. Self-compassion allows us to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life without harsh self-judgment. Imagine a scenario where someone is facing a setback, perhaps in their career or a personal aspiration. Instead of defaulting to self-criticism, practicing self-care can provide a space for forgiveness and understanding. This shift not only promotes emotional healing, but encourages individuals to view challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than reflections of failure. Self-care also significantly impacts physical health. Engaging in physical activities, such as walking, running, or yoga, is not merely an exercise for the body, but an investment in our overall health. Regular physical activity is linked to reduced risks of chronic illnesses, improved mental health, and enhanced mood. Additionally, incorporating nourishing foods into our daily diet plays a critical role in supporting our physical wellness. By recognizing the importance of nutrition, we empower ourselves to make choices that sustain our bodies and enhance our energy levels. This sense of vitality translates into all areas of our lives, enabling us to pursue our goals with vigor and enthusiasm. Despite the numerous advantages of self-care, many individuals grapple with guilt or a sense of unworthiness that hinders their commitment to caring for themselves. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, taking time for oneself can feel indulgent or selfish. However, it is vital to reframe this perspective by acknowledging that self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Just as we wouldn't neglect routine maintenance on a car, we must treat our mental and emotional well-being as a priority. Making self-care a non-negotiable aspect of daily life reinforces the understanding that we cannot pour from an empty cup. To cultivate a sustainable self-care practice, individuals can begin by setting small, achievable goals. Rather than attempting to overhaul their entire lives, they may start with manageable steps, such as dedicating 10 minutes a day for meditation, journaling, or going for a short walk. These small acts accumulate over time, creating a positive ripple effect throughout their lives. Ultimately, self-care is a vital pillar underpinning personal growth, well-being, and resilience. Embracing this practice empowers us to lead more balanced, fulfilling lives. By giving ourselves permission to prioritize our needs, we enhance not only our own health and happiness, but also our capacity to support others. When we commit to self-care, we foster a culture of compassion and understanding that ripples through our families, friendships, and communities. In this journey of personal growth, self-care emerges not as an act of selfishness, but as a profound and necessary investment in ourselves and our relationships. By prioritizing our well-being, we pave the way for a brighter, more enriching future for both ourselves and those we cherish. The delicate balance between self-acceptance and the pursuit of personal growth is a topic that resonates deeply with many individuals on their journey toward fulfillment and happiness. At its core, self-acceptance is about recognizing and embracing who we are, including our strengths, weaknesses, flaws, and unique traits. It entails developing a kind and compassionate relationship with ourselves, allowing us to appreciate our individuality without harsh self-criticism or comparison to others. However, the intersection of self-acceptance with personal growth raises important questions. How can we sincerely accept ourselves while simultaneously striving to become better versions of ourselves? Self-acceptance serves as the foundation upon which personal growth is built. When we fully acknowledge ourselves, we create a space of authenticity. This acceptance helps us identify our values, passions, and areas for improvement. It removes the burden of pretense, allowing us to step away from societal expectations and external validation. Instead of feeling pressured to conform to others' ideals, we can cultivate a clearer understanding of who we are and what we genuinely want out of life. When this understanding is established, it becomes far easier to identify the goals and dreams that resonate deeply with our true selves. On the road to self-acceptance, it's important to confront and challenge the negative self-talk that often hampers our sense of self-worth. Many individuals struggle with internal narratives that sabotage their confidence and potential. The constant comparison to others, particularly in today's age of social media, can create feelings of inadequacy and deepen self-doubt. Recognizing these patterns of thought is a crucial step toward breaking free from them. Instead of fixating on perceived shortcomings, we can learn to reframe our perspectives, focusing on our achievements and the unique qualities that define us. This shift not only enhances our self-acceptance, but also fuels our motivation to strive for growth. Embracing self-acceptance does not mean that we become complacent or resigned to our current state. On the contrary, accepting ourselves creates a more robust platform for exploration and development. When we are grounded in self-acceptance, we can approach personal growth with a sense of curiosity rather than fear. We begin to view our challenges as opportunities for learning and improvement, rather than reflections of failure or worthlessness. This mindset allows us to pursue growth with an open heart and mind, making the journey feel less daunting and more exhilarating. Furthermore, it's essential to understand that self-acceptance celebrates progress rather than seeking perfection. Perfectionism can be a significant barrier to both self-acceptance and personal growth. The desire to achieve flawless outcomes can fuel constant dissatisfaction and hold us back from recognizing the positive strides we've made. Instead of focusing on ideal outcomes, we can redefine success by measuring it against our personal goals and values. Reflecting on the journey rather than fixating solely on the end result fosters a sense of gratitude for our growth experiences and encourages us to acknowledge and appreciate small victories. To cultivate both self-acceptance and personal growth, it can be helpful to establish a set of guiding principles or affirmations that reinforce our intrinsic worth. These affirmations can serve as daily reminders that we are valuable and deserving of love and respect, irrespective of our perceived shortcomings. For example, a simple affirmation such as "I am enough exactly as I am," or "I embrace my journey of growth" can spark positive change in our mindset over time. By integrating such affirmations into our daily routines, we nurture a more compassionate relationship with ourselves and set the tone for a growth-oriented mindset. Another element that fosters the balance between self-acceptance and personal growth is the importance of setting realistic goals. When we strive for growth, it's vital to lay out achievable objectives that inspire rather than overwhelm us. Breaking down larger aspirations into smaller, manageable steps allows us to see progress and celebrate our achievements along the way. This, in turn, reinforces our self-acceptance, as we recognize that growth is an ongoing process rather than a fixed destination. Each step taken can be viewed not only as an advancement toward our goals, but also as a testament to our commitment to ourselves. Finally, it's crucial to remember that personal growth is not a solitary journey. As we navigate our path, seeking support and connection with others can be incredibly beneficial. Surrounding ourselves with people who encourage and uplift us can motivate us on our journey of self-improvement. Sharing insights, experiences, and challenges with trusted friends, mentors, or support groups fosters a sense of belonging and reduces feelings of isolation. These connections can remind us that we are not alone in our struggles, reinforcing both our self-acceptance and our desire for growth. In conclusion, the interplay between self-acceptance and the pursuit of personal growth is a rich and intricate dance. Accepting ourselves fully creates a nurturing environment for exploration and development, allowing us to pursue our goals with authenticity and resilience. By integrating practices that promote self-compassion, establishing realistic objectives, and fostering supportive connections, we empower ourselves to navigate this dynamic relationship. In doing so, we become equipped to embrace our true selves while simultaneously uplifting and evolving into the individuals we aspire to be. Ultimately, this balance enriches our lives, boosts our well-being, and allows us to contribute positively to the world around us. By valuing both self-acceptance and growth, we cultivate a fulfilling and purpose-driven existence that celebrates the beautiful complexity of being human.